We have it, the success of the first phase of VUMA's My Community Cooks initiative, and the main opportunities it enabled for those in South Africa's creative sector has led to the evolution of the campaign. VUMA have now teamed up with musician and social innovator Jimmy Nevis as a mentor and ambassador for their My Community, Community Connects campaign. For more on this, let's now speak to Jimmy Nevis and VUMA's marketing head Lianne Williams. A very good morning to you, Jimmy, and Lianne. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Mornings. What's good?
Good to have you both on the show this morning. Lianne, I'm going to start with you. Before we get into phase 2 of the campaign, just quickly remind us of the first phase and how it fared.
The first phase, good morning to everybody first of all, but the first phase was really exploratory for us, and we wanted to make a difference in the communities, especially with the hardship that hits the creative industry. Well, it hits everybody, but specifically the creative industry. We started it last year and it ended at the end of 2021, December 2021. And it fared really well. We've seen the participants people that entered and businesses that came through the portal, they've expanded their reach in terms of marketing their brand and their services with their offerings. We've seen increased revenue. We've seen mentorship happening between youngsters and more experienced people across various industries and sectors. And we just thought, we also learned a lot. Like I said, it was a first for us, and I think phase 2 is going to build on that. And we've been very fortunate to get somebody like Jimmy Nevis who's willing to work with us to take it forward and expand this to more people, use his personality and his character to get into the communities in which we have a presence.
Okay.
But we've also, we've started using some of the entrants that came through the portal as part of our corporate supplier base.
Sure.
So it's worked, it's turned out very well.
Now, take us through the My Community Connects campaign. What's that all about?
It is a continuation from phase 1 with a slightly different twist in terms of not just focusing on the creative sector. We've broadened the scope to include social innovation, trying to get more people interested in the STEM sort of community and environment. So we're looking at partners like Girl Code. We're looking at working with youngsters in high schools, in any community from any walk of life, to see what they can bring to the community outside of purely the creative space. It expands beyond a skill in terms of what the person's artistry may be or line of work may be. Be looking to expand on life skills, teaching youngsters lessons that have been learned from experiences and knowledge gained over the years. So I'm sure, we've engaged with Jimmy quite, not regularly. We've just started the engagements, but he's very clear on the stance that we are taking as a business and as a brand in wanting to create a window of opportunity for everybody and anybody in our country.
Okay.
Physical environments and boundaries are very limiting. COVID hasn't helped. I think it's just exacerbated and placed a lot more emphasis on what is required.
Right.
So, we're looking forward to it.
Okay. Jimmy, let me also bring you in. Talk to us about how and why you decided to come on board and join forces with VUMA for the My Community Connects campaign.
Well, I think, this kind of campaign really speaks to people like myself, number one. And I think that VUMA, with this whole initiative, it's very genuine in wanting to create connections and just help creatives and talented individuals across the board build their brands, communicate their ideas, and just create some prospective audiences and clients, So I think it's something that is really necessary, especially after this pandemic. I look at my industry and I see how we are trying so hard to build things up again, and initiatives like this really help us.
Now, talk to us about your role and as the mentor and ambassador. What does that entail?
So, I think for me, first of all, I'll say that the best way to lead, they say, is by example. And I think that, my role in this whole initiative would be to be some type of mentor. I'd be able to create workshops and really create a dialogue between myself and these talented individuals who want to learn more about not only my industry, but also get a glimpse into what it takes to, get a glimpse into some of my experiences, some of my challenges. I've been in this industry for 10 years, so I do have a lot to share. There's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and I think we need to create more spaces like this where we are able to just kind of communicate more and share more about how we can take this further.
Sure, I guess that's the crux of the campaign, to communicate more and share more. Now, Lianne, tell us more about how this year's campaign will feature a new element, where someone from each category will be recognized for their outstanding work.
Yes, so one of the biggest learnings from last year is that we did manage to connect people from different sectors and industries to mentors or people who have the experience, but we actually wanted to do more. So across the different categories that we've put forward now, what we do want to do is take somebody who's truly making an impact, has the talent, has the passion, has the determination and commitment to move forward, and link them up with somebody that can help them grow it beyond where they are. So it's everything in terms of, like we touched on earlier, what are the lessons, what are the skills, how to get your branding out there, how to market yourself and the product offering that you take into market, as well as how do you monetize that, right? Because we're doing this also to get people to become economically active. And at the end of it all, we would like to acknowledge it with an award that will be handed out by VUMA in recognition of the contribution and the hard work that people have made to their communities. We would like this to grow and move forward with massive impact. We do measure it quite tangibly in terms of the difference that we make. And that kind of exposure would be phenomenal for the people or person per industry or category.
Right.
So we leverage off those big personalities.
Yeah. And Jimmy, as a mentor, what are some of the key lessons and questions you hope to impart and answer to the young people that you'll be engaging with?
Well, I think, especially when I think of my industry and coming up over the last 10 years, there weren't always people on hand that I could turn to. There was a lot of things I had to learn by myself. And I think, especially after this pandemic, things like working in a team, a lot of my team has kind of fallen away because of COVID, a lot of challenges have presented themselves. And I think, it really comes down to just how can we turn our talents, like Lianne was saying, into a business? How can we take it one step further? I know coming from a community like Athlone, especially after pandemic, it may not be a priority to a lot of families or people to run with their talents or their gifts, especially when you need to, make ends meet, you need to put food on the table. So it's really great to be part of an initiative that really says, we're going to put your talents in the spotlight and we're going to work on that and help you build that.
True. Now, Lianne, I understand that the entries for the My Community Connects campaign are currently open. Give us more details on how those interested can go about entering.
Yes, so I'm going to put it the simplest way. If you visit or if you Google My Community Connects, you will find it. There's a link. You go onto a portal that we've created. It's a website. You upload the work that you wish to showcase. It does obviously go through a vetting process, and this gets used as a portal or a hub that is accessible to anybody. So while we also use it and submit it, we use it as a showcase or as a digital directory for people to be accessed by anybody who wishes to use them moving forward. So that is one of the beauties of, I think, of digital. As Jimmy said, the pandemic.
Lianne, we're losing you.
Really struck a lot of households, and the extra money to be spending on things.
Before we
people
lose
understand the
completely,
opportunity that is provided by
Hi,
that.
Lianne.
Oh goodness, am I frozen?
Yeah, we had lost you there for a second. Just a quick one before I let you go. How do you gauge the success of this campaign? I mean, what are some of the elements that you look at and then they make you decide that this campaign really is achieving what it set out to achieve? Lianne? All right, we have lost Lianne. And Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great stuff. All right, that was Jimmy Nevis and VUMA's marketing head, Lianne Williams, speaking to us about their campaign that showcases the country's innovation and talent through their My Community Connects campaign.